Hey everybody, welcome to Invisible Condition. It's not all in your head. I'm your host, Jeff Pearson, and we want everybody with an invisible condition, no matter what that condition is, to know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you do have a voice, you have a community, and you are never alone, never ever alone. Here on Invisible Condition, we get it, all right? We know life can be tough. Especially, there's some conditions out there, man, life can be rough on the daily, right? Here's the thing. There is always hope. Even when life is hard, there is always hope. So I have a question for you. Have you lost your hope? Have you lost it? Are you looking at me going, Jeff, I don't know what the heck you're talking about. Hope is elusive right now. Please use this email right there and just put the word hope in the subject line. If you are struggling with that and you're having a rough day, you're having a rough week, month, year, and hope is not at your fingertips, I want to help you. Okay, so send me an email and just put hope in the subject line. You don't even have to put a message or anything. I'll email you back. We can talk over email. We can do it over Zoom, whatever. I just want to help you. I just want to help you restore your hope because that's a big deal. Okay, all right. Now, I want to talk about a couple things before we bring our amazing guest on today. First thing, why not? I had the email up there. Let's talk about the nonprofit for a second. It's called Hydro with Hope, and that is a nonprofit that my wife and I created a few years ago to help people with a condition called hydrocephalus, which is the condition I was born with, which is kind of where all this show came from. Is because I was born with an invisible condition as well, and so hydrocephalus frequently requires brain surgery. And so I'm 7 brain surgeries in. Some other people living with hydrocephalus have had 10 times that many surgeries. It doesn't really matter. The point is, either way, it's a crazy life. And so I created a journal called My Hydro Warrior Story to assist those with hydrocephalus to be able to keep track of all the information and all the records and all the stuff and little emotional download pages in there and some fun stuff in there to entertain you during your hospital stay, to kind of make it a little light, because it's heavy doing brain surgery. So that journal, I want to get that journal in the hands of everybody with hydrocephalus in the US, okay? I want to get but I can't do that unless I have funding. And so that's what this link is for. You scan that QR code, you can donate monthly, you can donate one time. I love you either way. Thank you in advance. The other thing I want to talk to you about is oh, that's right. So Jake Ellis is a partner of ours at Invisible Condition here. Jake lives in Colorado near me, and he is a representative with a company called Cutco, and they make the most amazing cutlery you've ever seen in your entire life. Okay, if you need good knives, stop right there. Cutco's the place to go. Now, I should probably put his QR code up there too. There we go. That's better. That's better. So his company's called Simple Gifting Solutions. My parents bought a set of those Cutco knives, Cutco steak knives, just the steak knives, in 1981. I'm 49 years old. I was born in 1977, so I was just a little kid when they bought these. Every time I go to their house, they've still got the same knives in the same drawer in their kitchen. They've used them every day. They're still as sharp as they ever have been. So as a consumer, buy some of these. They're amazing. As a business owner, if you're like a realtor or somebody like somebody that works in the automotive industry with car sales or something, like this is the coolest gift to give your clients. He can even, Jake even has a way to engrave your logo of your company onto one of the knives. So, and then you present it to the person as a gift, a thank you gift. They will love you forever, and they'll remember you forever because it's right there. They last forever. So, and the best part is Jake will donate a certain percentage of the proceeds of every single sale to Hydro with Hope. So how cool is that? So shop away. And thank you in advance as well. Now, the last thing I want to talk to you about is NRG, which is our studio sponsor. NRG, if you need more networking in your life, this is the place to come. Okay. You noticed that that was the first thing you saw was live from NRG Studios. They are our studio sponsor for a reason. I am a lifetime member of NRG. I'm a networker. I've been a networker my entire life, and it comes in really handy in business. If you're not networking, you're probably not growing your business. This is the purest form of networking I've ever seen. You come to the meeting, you get referrals, you go build your business. Honestly, they've ruined me for all of the networking. I don't go to very many other places because I get what I need for my business at NRG. If you're interested in something like that and you want a source of never-ending referrals like I have, scan the QR code. Mike, who owns the company, will direct you to the next few calls that you can join. There's 30 every single week that you can join, and you can check it out. Tell them I sent you. All right, now let's talk about our guest. Today's guest is proof that an invisible condition doesn't have to define a person's future. Totally doesn't. Jane Rogers has lived with epilepsy for more than 3 decades. And instead of allowing it to silence her or control her, she's become an author, a speaker, a passionate advocate helping others replace fear with understanding, which is huge. Through her memoir, Laughing Through the Storm, Jane shares a powerful message that resilience, hope, and even laughter. I mean, come on, laugh every single day, people. It should be a rule for life. Laughter can exist alongside life's craziest and greatest challenges. Ain't that the truth? All right, let's bring Jane on here and see where we go from here. Jane, thank you so much for being here. This is so cool. I can't wait to dive in.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here.
This is going to be cool. This is
Yeah.
fun. Now, bear with me here. I ask every single guest I have on the show a
Mhm.
question before we get started. It's very easy. No wrong answer. Everybody has good days. Everybody has terrible days. Some of them are really rough, right?
Mhm.
On those rough days, Jane, how do you maintain hope?
Well, honestly, I I have a little bit of a stubborn side, so I always think of the harder times I had in my life, and I'm like, well, damn, like I mean, it's been worse, so like,
Right.
come on, and I'm like, this is not taking me down today, and I'm gonna, choose to watch a comedy movie to get my spirits up.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah, no, it's true. That is, hey, that's what we do around our house too. Honestly, you reminded me of something. I tell people a lot that I'm trilingual,
Mm.
and I say, yeah, just trilingual. They say, oh, really? Spanish, French, German, Greek? What do you speak? And I say, oh, no, 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 nothing like that. No, number one is sarcasm. Number two is movie quotes. And number three, a close third is English, somewhere in back there.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are movie people in our house too. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So I love that. I love that because a good comedy can turn anything around, man. I'm
Oh,
telling you.
absolutely. Yeah, I
Seriously.
mean, yeah, I comedies all the time for me.
I right. In fact, we were just watching What About Bob last night. We were
Oh,
watching What
really? I
About Bob.
watched that last week too.
Classic, right? Seriously. So yeah, I swear we throw down lines from that movie almost on a daily basis around here in
Yeah.
our house. There's so many good one-liners in that movie. So
Yeah.
anyway, see, I knew we. This is I see. This is why I have people like this on the show because they're my people. This is great. Movie people. So let's dive in here. Take us back to the beginning, man. What was happening in your life when you first realized something just wasn't right? Something was going on.
Yeah, okay. So I just started grade 7, and every week, every month for a week at a time, I'd get really sick. Like I'd have flu-like symptoms,
Mm,
bad migraines, waking up with bad migraines, vomiting, just feeling just awful, right? So
yeah.
at first we were thinking, oh, it's just a bug, just, waved it off and that, but it happened a couple other times. So we were like, okay, something's going on here. And when March break came around, at that point I turned 13, we had some family friends over for a visit, and us kids had a sleepover in the basement. And the youngest son, he saw me have a seizure in the middle of the night. He
Mm.
he didn't know what it was at the time, but when he woke up the next morning at the breakfast table, he announced, "Hey, Jane, you were shaking like crazy last night."
Mm.
So automatically, my parents were really concerned, and they were like, we went to see the doctor as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And shortly afterwards, I was diagnosed with seizures and well, epilepsy. And the type of seizures I was having at that time was grand mal seizures. And I would only have them when I was sleeping, only once a month, right when my period would start. So the
Oof.
hormones basically is what triggered the seizures to start.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what? I've heard of that. You are not the first person. Believe it or not. You don't have to believe me, but you are not the first person that's told me that. That is probably more common than I even would imagine.
Yeah.
Because it's a significant event that's
Yeah.
going on every month, and anything can trigger a seizure. So
Yeah.
yeah. Huh. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, that's not that. No, nobody says that's fun.
No, it was
But
not.
I mean, yeah, it's like adding insult to injury, right? It's like, okay, we're doing this every month. Boy, thanks for the seizure. That's like the cherry on top. But let's talk. Let's be real though. Epilepsy is very misunderstood. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're used to watching like medical shows, grand mal is the only type of seizure anybody ever knows, right? That's like, of
Mhm.
course, if you have epilepsy, oh, well, you must have grand mal seizures.
Yeah.
I've had seizures over the years too, but I've never had a grand mal.
Yeah.
So there's so many different things out there.
Mhm.
It's so misunderstood. What's some of the like? I'm sure you've run into misconceptions. You might run into people that have like asked you questions that are just ridiculous.
Yeah.
What kind of misconceptions are you coming up against?
Well, there's one where I don't know where it started, but it's not true whatsoever. That is that we could potentially choke on our own tongue.
Mm.
And that's impossible for us to do. Like we could bite our tongue. That's very true. That's
Uh-huh.
never happened to me, but
Yeah.
it has happened to a lot of epileptics. But completely choke on the tongue, no, no. And so it's never a good idea necessarily to put something in somebody's mouth when they're having a seizure. Please
Ooh.
do not do it with me because that would just make things way worse.
Right.
But there are some epileptics that bite their tongue, which is, I imagine, a very uncomfortable
Ugh.
feeling afterwards, like once you come out of it and stuff. But that's one of the misconceptions for sure. I know that, well, okay, strobe lights, it's not as common as they say it is. Like, it's
Mm.
pretty rare that strobe lights would trigger seizures. But it's in the lower percentage. But online and all that, they make it out like it's like something that like every epileptic has an issue with, but that's not the case. For
So
me, I wouldn't be staring into the strobe light, that's cause a migraine. That's not me, but but I would
so
have a seizure.
so that actually it brings up a question in my mind. So I was tested for seizures when I was a few years ago.
Okay.
And that was one of the things that they commonly do. Well, or maybe they don't commonly. I shouldn't say that. Are there different methods to test people to see if they have a seizure disorder of some sort or epilepsy? Because when I got tested, that's exactly what they did. We're like,
They
with the
were doing
strobe lights and
Yes, yes, and they did that with me too. They definitely did that with me too. But I know they had run other tests and stuff, but that was definitely one of those where it was like red and green lights or whatever, flashing and all
yeah.
that kind of stuff, which was not very uncomfortable.
Exact right. Like you could do that to somebody that's not prone to seizures, and they're not going to enjoy it. Like that is not a fun. That's not fun for anybody.
No,
So,
it's not. No,
ugh,
not whatsoever. But yes, that
no.
is one of the. I know it's one of the tests, but there's many other tests that they do alongside all of that. But it's definitely, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It's well, and there's maybe there's another misconception hidden in there somewhere, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, everybody gets that test, but
Well, yeah,
um,
exactly. Yeah.
so I mean, seizures, I mean, I've never had a grand mal. I've had many, 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 many absence seizures,
Okay.
which is another very common thing
Yeah.
with people that are prone to that kind of thing. I, you know, what is and those can be unpredictable, just like the grand mal
Yeah.
type stuff can be
Absolutely.
unpredictable, right? You
Yeah.
never know when you're going to get one.
Mm.
Is it the kind of thing? I know people have told me before on previous shows and just in talking to people in general that it's kind of like they can feel it coming, right? Like there's a warning sign, there's a visual cue, or there's a physical something. That is that true with you too?
It is true, and so when I generally have them when I'm just sleeping, but
Oh,
yeah,
well,
but I do wait. I I um I wake up very like aggressively, like it just jolts me awake. So
oof,
I'm like, oh boy, it's gonna start. So I kind of try to calm myself down and prepare myself,
yeah,
and then I'll go into it. Uh,
yeah.
and like when I have them when I'm awake, I get that a warning sign from like it goes from the pit of my stomach and rises up, and I'm like, uh-oh, something's happening. Gotta
Oh,
sit down now if I'm not sitting down.
mm,
Gives me like a 3-second warning, like enough time for me to say, uh-oh, seizure, get on the ground.
where's my chair? Yeah,
Exactly. Or if my husband's nearby, I can say, oh shit, get down to
it's
the
coming.
ground.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then he dives on top of me and helps me or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Cool. All right. Yeah, I mean that's good, right? That's a good thing. That's yeah, you want that warning.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Because I mean, without the warning, you could be walking down the stairs and you'd fall down like a sack of potatoes and break your bones, or crossing the street, and then
Right.
those kind of things. When you're in a little more dangerous situation, the warning sign is helpful.
It is nice. Yeah. Well, so I was asking because I was curious, partly for all of you out there, and partly for me because I have had a very different warning sign than that. So I
Mhm.
was just curious. By the way, speaking of you out there, hello. Hi. Thank you for being here. We love you. We're so glad you're here. And no matter where you're watching, if you're watching on Facebook, especially if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, comment away. If you have a question, if you have a comment, if Jane or I say something that is controversial in your mind, or you want to comment, or you want to ask a question, go for it.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it, and then we can answer you back. So for me, I would get the times that I would that I remember that they're coming, right? Like you don't
Mm.
always. I didn't always get. Well, no, that's not true. I usually get a warning. You usually get a warning. The dizziness kicks in, right, and my head and my body just completely tenses. My entire body tenses,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and then the crazy some of the worst ones that I've had, I get a visual aura kind of thing around the outside of my field of vision on both eyes
Oh,
that
interesting.
looks kind of like lightning going up and down like that, and it is the weirdest thing. It looks really weird. It feels really weird, but it's the warning sign, right? I'm just glad it's there
Yeah.
because hitting you out of nowhere would be even harder, right?
Mhm.
So, speaking of warning and all that stuff, now how long has it been since you've had a seizure? Has it
Oh,
been a while?
no,
Oh,
unfortunately, yesterday.
oh no. Okay. All right. Well, okay.
Yeah, it's
Well,
like,
that kind of takes care of my next question. That I was wondering if you because I know people that have the grand mal type seizures as well, but they haven't had one in 6 months or a year,
yeah,
so they're able to drive around, they're able to
yeah.
operate different, you'll be able to do things. I'm guessing your license doesn't do you a lot of good right now.
It's never
No.
existed.
Okay. All right.
I wish it never existed.
Okay.
I
All right.
think
So
I
you've
think the only way I'll be in a car is when it's fully automated, where I can be, a Tesla that's fully automated. And
there you go.
I'm not driving at all.
There
That,
you
that's
go.
it. Like I don't. Uh, I would love the idea of me actually being able to drive at one point in my life, but I really, the hope is not there for that. The hope is for just at least have my own transportation, my own car to drive me around kind of thing.
So what we
That I'll be
need,
happy with.
so sounds like what we need for Jane is a GoFundMe or something, so we can hire her a chauffeur full time, and then she just drives around in her fancy car. Like you ever see the movie? You ever see the movie Lincoln Lawyer with Matthew McConaughey? You ever see
Yes,
the movie?
yeah.
Right. And so he just, hey Earl, take me to this place and take me to that place. You know, like everybody needs an Earl. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm with you. About 6 or 8 months ago, or maybe even a year ago, I just got to the point that I'm like, you know what? I don't even like driving. And so my wife, she's like, oh well, I like driving, so I kind of have a chauffeur. Most of the time it's like, okay, where are we going? Okay, cool. You're gonna drive? Awesome, thank you. So yeah. So how do you get around?
Well, my husband, whenever he's around, he helps. He drives me wherever I need to go, or get an
Beautiful.
Uber. I
Oh,
used to. I used to take the bus and things like that, but
nah.
now it's like, okay, I'm at a point where I'm able to afford the Ubers, and frankly, it's just like, I mean, dealing with these
Yeah.
kids these days. I mean, it can be a little annoying. So it's better to just, I'm getting at
Right.
an age where I'm like, oh God, I'm the cranky old lady who's basically with these kids being too rowdy on the bus.
Oh man,
So,
you know what? You could probably, you know what? If you talk to the right person, you could probably. I remember when we were on a trip one time. It was well before Uber. This was like 25 years ago. But we had a cab driver, and we're like, can we just have you for the entire time we're here? Like, can we just give me your card, and
yeah.
we'll just call you anytime we need to go somewhere. Surely there's something like that with Uber. Like you could just find somebody that's like your driver. You know,
It's true. Like maybe there is something on the Uber app where you
that
can
would be so cool.
you can put your favorites or something and see if
Yeah.
they're in your area or whatever. Probably something like that.
That would be so cool. Obviously the idea would be that you could drive yourself. Like that's
Yeah.
ideal.
Yeah.
But if you have to be driven around, why not be driven around by somebody that's cool that you like?
Yeah.
So, nice. Well, okay. So you get it. I get it. A lot of people get it, right? Epilepsy's a thing. Don't say stupid stuff if you don't know what the deal is, right? What's some of the hardest stuff that you've experienced? Like you said you primarily have the seizures in your sleep,
Yeah.
right? But does that like that's something that most people will never understand. Like, what do you mean a seizure in your sleep? Do you never sleep then? Does they wake you up? Do they, like what's some stuff that people just don't get with this?
Well, okay, so like a typical night going to bed, generally people are winding down. They're like, oh, I'm gonna have a nice sleep and all this sort of stuff. I'm basically going to bed like with like getting ready for a battle. 'Cause I'm like it may or may not happen tonight, but like there's never any kind of like, oh, this is such a relaxing sleep. I just had the best dream. No, it's not exist for someone like me. It's like a battle royale. Like who's gonna, like.
Picking button, taking names, man.
Well, yeah, and especially when I was dislocating my shoulder in the back of my 20s,
Ow!
it was a real battle royale then.
Come
I tell
on.
you. Yeah, it was a nightmare. But anyways, in my book, I talk about that my sleep routine and what I wear to bed. I have the blindfold, earplugs, the sling to protect my shoulder, so I have a real sexy getup.
All right. You got your battle gear on to go to bed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But there's in terms of sleep for me, it's like I like to sleep, but the fact is that I unfortunately have this condition where it's not fun. So,
I can totally relate. Well, I can't relate to the to
yeah.
the to the not fun thing, but I you know, I, so I started having brain surgery at 2 weeks old. Man, that was my introduction to the world. It was emergency brain surgery at 2 weeks old, and then I had another one at 6 months old. I've had all these other surgeries in my infancy and my childhood, and then in my adulthood. And I mean, sleep is definitely a challenge for me too. I'm totally with you. My brain starting off that early being forced to sleep and then forced awake, forced to sleep and forced awake. Like with anesthesia, go to sleep, and then
Yeah.
whatever they give you to, snap you out of the anesthesia, wake up,
Yeah.
and so I'm kind of with you in that small percentage of what I can relate to with that. Like, sleep is important,
Yeah.
but for some of us out there with certain invisible conditions, sometimes it kind of is elusive, like sleep is not a given for me all the time. And it doesn't sound like it's a given for you. Like a restful night of sleep is not a given for you.
It's not. It's really restful, like, I mean, yeah, if I like take like Ativan or whatever.
Ooh, yeah, we don't want to go down that road permanently,
Maybe
right?
with that stuff, but
Yeah,
generally
no.
speaking, it's like it's a problem. It's a
Yeah.
problem. But like I can't not have this sleep. Because if I have lack of sleep, that could cause a seizure. So it is
Right.
important for me. So it's just like, oh God.
You know what? That brings up a good point. I hate that. That is the most frustrating catch-22, isn't it? It's like, okay, if I go to sleep and I get enough sleep, right, over the night time, then I'm relatively functional, right?
Mhm.
But if I don't, then it triggers more seizures.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, so I get seizures in my sleep, and then if I don't get enough sleep, then I get seizures other time, right? How
Yeah.
often do you get them when you're awake, though? Is it not very often?
Well, no, I mean, it depends, honestly. Like, I mean, I had one last month. Well, a couple last month. I had them, and they were pretty severe for me. Like recently, it's a new thing, but when I'm having a seizure, it feels like I get my organs are getting stabbed or
Ugh.
squeezed in a really awkward way when I'm having the seizure. Like it's cramping, so it is very uncomfortable. Like I'm yelling, "Ow,
Yeah.
ow, ow, ow!" And my husband's trying to protect me, thinking, "What? Ow!"
Yeah. What do I fend off here? Yeah.
Exactly. What am I doing? And I want to tell him. I'm like, it's not you. It's the insides. But it's that's a new thing that's starting. So it's really like when that happens, it's like, oh man,
Right.
it hurts because it's like it really feels like either you're getting stabbed or it's squishing it together and cramping, and it's just like oh my goodness.
You know.
So
Yeah.
and with these seizures I have when I'm awake, I am awake. I don't black out and then come
Good.
to afterwards. So I know everything that's going on. I can hear everyone. I can see everything, and then of course feeling it all. So it makes it even more harder to deal with because
Yeah.
dealing with that when you're awake. So,
Is it the kind of thing that you could like alert somebody, like tell somebody what you need, or you're awake and you're conscious, but
yeah.
you can't really talk?
Yeah, like I mean, I can say a few little things, but
Yeah.
not enough to really be able to, like, yeah, like
Like not the greatest conversationalist during
well,
this.
this thing, like I started to be able to say some things after my brain surgeries.
Okay.
That started to be a new thing, but I can't like sometimes when I'm in that moment, I don't think to say, oh, don't worry, honey, it's something inside.
No.
There's nothing else, or I can't really have like a full on conversation because I'm dealing with everything else. So
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I've had situations like that too with migraines over the years and different things like that, and those absence seizures.
yeah,
Sometimes all I can do is just hold the thumbs up, or like it's
yeah,
good, like don't panic. It's okay. I'll be all right,
yeah.
because yeah. Well, that reminds me something. I'm going to write this down while we're talking here. But I definitely want to ask you something about that when we're done here after we're done recording. But because I'm very curious about something that helped me that I'm wondering it might help you. But we could talk about that in a minute. But at what point did you decide that you wanted to share this so that it could help other people? I mean, you've got the book. Do you have the book handy?
Yes,
Because I did not grab that cover.
yeah.
Yeah, awesome. yeah.
And
So,
actually right there in the background there.
oh, perfect. See, there it is. Yeah,
Oh, I'm going the wrong way.
there it is. Oh, there it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, we're just moving all over the place. Having a little dance party on the show. So yeah. So what is the book about? Like, when did you write that? What inspired it?
So yeah, it started 3 years ago. I at that time I was making jewelry and writing articles along each piece about my journey with epilepsy, and my husband said, "Geez, honey, you have a lot of good stories here. Why don't you just write a book?" So that's kind of how it started there. And when
Nice.
at first when he said that, I was that's a big stretch there, but
That's a good luck with that. Yeah.
yeah, but I thought about one instance when I was in Toastmasters a few years back, and I basically the first toast you're supposed or the speech you're supposed to do is an icebreaker speech where you talk about your like your hobbies and your work, and if you're
Sure.
married, that kind of generic stuff, right? But my life really, epilepsy really engulfed my life, so it was just normal for me to just share about my struggles, like everything
Yes.
about my struggles. So I go do that week, and everybody's gobsmacked about
Right.
about what I said. Like they were like, "Holy shit, who is this chick?" But the next week I come back, a girl who had been there for several years and who had done dozens of speeches and is a fantastic speaker. She had never talked about her own personal life, but
Yeah.
that week she came and she shared about her upbringing with her father, who was very abusive towards her.
Mm,
And afterwards, she told me it's because I did that speech that day. It gave her the courage to share her story since I
nice.
was willing to share off the bat. So I thought of that time and I'm like, you're right. I know that my story could truly help some other people, just like I helped that girl that day. By
Nice.
just really being myself, by
Yeah.
wanting to share, what I'm about, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. So it's basically a story. It's your story.
It's my story of living with epilepsy for over 30 years. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's amazing. And your website is here. We've had that up the majority of the show here. What are people going to find when they go to that website?
Well, they will find where to find me on other social media sites, some
Mhm.
other blogs that I put on there, other podcasts I've done. I have to do
Nice.
a little more work for my website and put some more stuff on there, but
Yeah. Always
and,
updating, right?
yeah, exactly. But then as well to where you'd be able to find my book on Amazon and some other online stores and some local stores in my area too. Yeah.
Beautiful. That's awesome. I love it. I'm still working on. I've got the book for the nonprofit, the journal, but I have not gone down the road of the memoir, right? The
Mhm.
story, the life story or whatever. That's been like number 4,323 on my top 10 list of things to do. It's like I've got so many other things to do, but I'm every time I talk to somebody that's got a book about their experience, it kind of kicks me in the butt again and goes, maybe you should do that, because it's important. Has that been kind of like your bit? Have you become like your business card now? Is that what do you pass those out a lot, or do you sell them on your website? How do you get them out there?
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I've been doing a lot of book signings and things like that,
Oh,
so getting it that way.
yeah,
But I carry around bookmarks everywhere. I
perfect.
mean, bookmarks and then my own business cards and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
if there's ever any kind of event that, yeah, I would, well, there was the Purple Day event that I was part of, and I gave it a few different copies as well there,
nice.
free and so forth. So, yeah.
Very cool. Okay, yeah. No, because that's just I've heard that. I don't do that with the journal that I was talking about earlier in the episode. I don't do that with that because it's not my life story. It's got a little blurb at the beginning that says about Jeff, you know, all that thing, to make sure people know I'm not just some, you know, rando that wrote a journal. You know, it's got to have a little bit of relatability there about why I'm doing it. But
Yeah.
I don't really have a book about my life or anything. But I figured that that's almost like anymore. That's like your business card, right? You're just passing those out. Like, here you go. This is me, you know? And so I love that you have that.
Yeah, and that was the hope with writing the book too, is to try to get have some proof that I'm serious or whatever, because I want to get on stages. That is the goal, to be a public speaker. So what better way as into writing a book here, like, this is true what I'm talking about, here it is. Read it, decide if you want me to be go on the stage or whatever, for whatever, I don't know.
No, it's awesome. Well, and I love that. I love that you use humor a lot, right? Like, humor is a big deal. Like, if you can, no matter how deep we could be, eyeballs deep in the muck, man, and we can still laugh about something. That's my wife and I. That's just how we roll.
Yeah.
And which is crazy, because somebody, like, depending on the condition, like, somebody would be like, how in the world can you laugh about this?
Yeah.
How do you keep that spirit, that humorous, that humor alive?
Well, it's either laugh or cry all day, and I don't cry all day.
It's true. You're right.
That is not fun. So,
no.
But it's naturally, it's like, I grew up with a family where we're always very humorous and joking around and all that stuff. So it's kind of already ingrained in me to want to laugh and stuff, and I learned early on how it's just better to, look at keep things light. Like, because really there was a lot of heavy times in my life where it was I needed a little light in there, and I didn't want to take things completely seriously. Like, I did, but I didn't, at the same time,
Right. No, yeah.
So
no, I tell people all the time, the secret of not having any gray and and just looking so young and fabulous is, I just don't act my age. That's the secret. Just don't act your age. So so I love that. That's part of the reason I was asking, because people would probably never guess how old you are, because you laugh a lot. It's that is a true fountain of youth type of thing. So it's awesome. So all right. So given that epilepsy's been a thing for a while, long while, how has that changed the way you, or has it? Maybe it hasn't really, because it's been for so long. Has that changed your definition of, success or joy or happiness or anything like that? Or is it just kind of baked right in? How do you deal with it?
Well, well, for many years, I really didn't want to accept the condition. So I just, in a way, it felt like I was just coasting by in life and just letting things go by, and just like, things are going to start when when my condition is under control. That day never came, and who knows if it ever will.
Right.
I've learned, I've learned now, and with age and stuff all that I need to learn to. I have learned to accept my condition and to where I am at this point, and to try to do as best as I can to live a fulfilling life and a fun and joyful life. I have, and I'm trying to, make sure that my condition will not make things overshadow the beauty that I have had in my life, and I've had lots of that. I've been very fortunate in many regards. So, I've lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
It's all right. My train gets derailed every once in a while too. I get it.
Wait a minute. Sorry.
How many? So just out of curiosity, remind me, how many brain surgeries are you in now?
Yeah,
How many?
I've had two brain surgeries and one
So there
surgery
you go.
where they implanted electrodes into the brain. So I don't
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I when stuff like that happens to me, because it happens on a daily freaking basis, like seriously, I'll drift off into nothing and start like that. What was it, Steve Carell in The Office? He's like, you know what? Sometimes I'll start a sentence not knowing where it's gonna go. We'll just see, and it's
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
see where it ends.
Yeah.
Um, but I just say, when I run into a situation like that, I just go, you know what? Memory's only the second thing to go, man. You know? And then most people say, "Oh, what's the first?" They say, "I don't know. I forgot that years ago. I have no idea, man." So, 7 brain surgeries in, give me a break.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
sometimes like I said, you got to laugh about it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to make a joke about it.
Yeah.
So what's been the most surprising thing that you've like responses that you've gotten from either your story or like people that have read your book, or like what's some of the cool things that people have come back to you with?
Well, I'm very um I'm very grateful that people have been able to connect well with my book, and that they have found that it's an easy read, and that they did laugh. So,
Right? That's the idea, people. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, and there's been a couple of people where they bought the book for their child or whatever who is just diagnosed, and they wanted to kind of share that with them, and so on. So that's been good as well. Like, I mean, I
Yeah.
know that like when I was first diagnosed, it would have gone a long way to have been able to have like some sort of mentor or someone to kind of help me along the way.
Yeah. Sure.
Because there's a lot of anyways. But
Oh
I
no, yeah.
a lot of good
Help
feedback.
is always good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, okay. So along those lines, maybe, have you found like you said you haven't really found like the mentor, or but surely I mean, have you gone to like, is there like support out there? Is there support groups? Is there different things like that, or do you not like those? I know some people are like, ugh, no, I don't do that.
Well, yeah, yeah, that's very true. And at the beginning of when I was first diagnosed, we would go to the Epilepsy Ottawa Foundation there every month to listen to some of the speakers or doctors they were coming in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I knew of that organization, but at that time in my life, I think it's just I was in the denial stage still, and
Mhm.
wanting to just fit in, because I mean, especially after my bullying when I went into high school, I just was like I wanted to stay under the radar. Like, I mean, I just want to pretend, this doesn't exist. But now,
Um,
but now.
yes, it does. Hello.
Yeah, I know, right? But now I am taking on a role with the epilepsy organization, and going
Nice.
to be doing helping with some programs, and also I'm gonna be in the mentor program as well. My husband, he's on the board of directors,
Oh, cool.
so we're both there to help. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's I'm at a stage in my life where I'm accepting of my condition and wanting to give back and help others, and
That's
at the
beautiful.
same time finding people that I could relate to as well, and I have. And it's kind of nice to be able to connect with someone on that level, and
Yeah.
kind of laugh about it or cry about it, whatever way it goes.
Depends on the day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, depends on how much sleep you've had, right? A
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
So this might sound like a little bit crazy question here, but I've always got, the answers always surprise me. But is there anything about this whole thing with epilepsy and all the crap everything you've been through? Is there anything that you're thankful for?
Oh boy. Yeah.
Got to dig a little bit for that one, don't you?
Yeah. I have to. But you know what? The fact is that had this never happened, had I
Yeah.
never been diagnosed or anything like that, I would have been on a different path and I would have never have met my husband.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And
Okay. What's that? You can't just leave that where it is. You
yeah,
gotta.
and I would have never met him. And I cannot imagine a life without this man. He's so wonderful.
So how
So
did you meet him? Why would you not have met him? How did you meet him?
we met on eHarmony, and
Nice.
that was back in 2007 when it was
Come
still
on.
when it was new.
Yeah.
It was good at that time.
All right. All right. Oh, that's cool. And so why? So why would you have not been on eHarmony if you hadn't been done had the seizures and
Well,
stuff?
I mean, you know what? I would have been going through a college university. I would have
Oh, I see.
potentially met somebody in there. I tried going to college, but I had to drop out each time. So
Yeah.
I didn't have that kind of, like, I mean, more likely than not, I could have found somebody in school at that point, right? So
I mean,
there's a good chance that we would never meet if this hadn't happened to me in this way.
that's true. That's so cool.
I mean,
I
yeah,
mean, yeah, no, I get it. I mean, it's such thin threads, right? I mean, I could say the same thing about Catherine and I, my wife and I. We met in seventh grade band class, right? We were 13 years old, and we met in seventh grade band. So, but the reason I was in band is because hydrocephalus requires a shunt most of the time, right? There's a shunt right there's literally a device, implanted right there.
okay,
And so they were like, no football, no soccer, no rugby, like nothing rough, just
okay,
so they would be like, oh. And so my parents were like, ooh, how about band, or how about choir,
yeah,
and so that's the only reason I took band is because I couldn't do a
yeah,
lot of the other stuff that most
yeah,
of the other kids could do. And but hey, if I hadn't done that, and who knows, right? So it's so crazy the connections that are made, the thin threads.
yep.
So yeah, I love that. I love that. That's so cool. Um, well, I mean, is there anything else that, like, any kind of stories or anything, like, is there a cool story from the book that you want to throw out there? Or is there, like, we have about, I don't know, 6 minutes left. Just thought we'd end on a fun note. Do you have any stories?
Okay. So, like a funny story, or
Sure. Why not? Or whatever. Yeah.
okay.
It's your book. I unfortunately I haven't read the book yet.
Yeah.
So
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Like, I mean, well, okay. So I'll talk about a little bit. Okay, there was a when I was doing testing before my brain surgeries.
yeah.
There was one night. Oh, I'll tell you a couple things.
Okay. All right. We have about 4 minutes, 5 minutes left. So just
Okay. So basically, at the Neurological Institute in Montreal, I went for testing, and it was the third round of testing. The title of this chapter was called "Sir Vapes a Lot." I had a roommate who was vaping. And
oh.
and he told me that the nurse said that it was okay. This was back in 2013. I go to the nurse and say, "Hey, is this right? Like, are you allowing this guy to vape
Seriously.
in giant
Are you
room?"
kidding me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And he was like, "Yeah, well, it's just vaping. It's not smoking."
It's worse.
I'm like, "Are you kidding me right now? Like,
Come on.
is this
Yeah.
real? Is this real right now?" So, anyways, I was dealing with that. I had to become more of a Karen to get this nurse to switch rooms, allow
Yeah.
me to go to a different room, because I was like, I'm inhaling smoke right now, and like I have
Right?
to do a week of testing with this. Are you kidding me? Like, we're in a
No way.
hospital. We're in a hospital. So there was that. But my new roommate, one night, she ended up having a seizure, and I called the nurses to get them to go and help her. When they start running in the room, I start to have a seizure.
Oh no.
I see I see everything that's going on, and they're looking back and forth, figuring out who are we
Who do
gonna
we talk to for
who
yeah.
are we gonna help right now? And so they call like, Mayday, Mayday, we need more nurses over here, you know.
Yeah.
But I was trying to will to say like, help her, I'm fine, you know, like.
Yeah.
Like,
I've done this before. Just I
it's like,
got this.
tell
Yeah.
this poor girl who doesn't know what's going on, like, just help her out. I'm
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
But anyways, I to this, no, I'm sure these nurses talk about that night to this day. Because it was
Right? Like,
chaos in the whole,
what do we do? Yeah.
pure chaos. But that one male nurse, oh, he was Nurse Petty the whole
Oh
week I
no.
was there, because I made him move me to another room. He would
Okay.
forget to bring me my medication. Sometimes he wouldn't. He would be late on the medication. All this sort of stuff. So
Oh yeah.
I was dealing
No, I
with
get it.
Nurse Petty after
Oh
that.
my goodness.
But it was like, the guy's vaping. Like, are you kidding me right now? We're in
That
the
is
hospital.
insane. I've never heard of that in the hospital. I don't
Yeah,
that
yeah,
has got to be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
yeah.
So,
And the minute I told him, hey, okay, if you're not going to help me, I'm going to go to someone higher up and
that's
figure
right.
this out.
Yep.
That scared the shit out of him there. He was like, okay,
Yeah.
fine. I'm like, are
Oh
you
my
kidding me?
goodness.
Oh, yeah, anyways,
That's
that happened.
crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, oh man. Well, I tell you what, man. I wish we had another hour because I feel like we could keep telling stories. We keep yucking it up here, but we're out of time, man. We have like a minute left. What would be the last thing you would want to impart to our audience in this last minute and a half?
Well, one thing that I always say at the end of my on my when I sign my books is, keep going, keep laughing. You are stronger than you think, and I really do believe in that. I've learned that throughout dealing with my condition, how strong I truly am, and truly I am capable of being. Sometimes you just forget that, but
Yeah.
you're stronger than you think, and never give up hope. Never give up hope. There's always something out there that could potentially help you.
I swear somebody said that toward the beginning of the show. I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, that was me. Yeah. Hope, hope is a big deal. I mean, we're crying out loud. We named our nonprofit Hydro with Hope. So
Yes.
I love that you're talking about that because it is. I feel like if you want to talk about a running theme through this entire show, it's hope.
Mhm.
Because living with an invisible condition, if you don't have hope, you're kind of dead in the water already, honestly.
Yeah.
So I love that you said that. That is perfect. Well, Jane, I really appreciate you being here. And I'm so thankful that we got this lined up and that we were able to record this and get this out to our audience. This is such an amazing story. And your book is incredible. And just thank you so much for being here. So much.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been so much fun today.
Awesome.
Speaking with
I
you.
appreciate it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. All right. Gosh, I love stuff like that. Shows like that. See, I love shows like this because with a condition like hydrocephalus, with something like epilepsy, with there are so many points that we can relate to each other on. It's just insane. I mean, it's almost I would say sad, but it's not sad because it's hilarious. If you don't laugh, you cry, right? So, but it's so cool to have that relatability with so many people over so many years, and so yeah. Thank you, Jane. This was awesome. I'm gonna take this screen wrap down here. Scan the QR code before I do it. 3, 2, 1. There it goes. All right. Thank you for being here. Seriously, wherever you were watching, I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. I hope you commented and said, hey, I'm watching from this place or that place, anywhere in the world. I love hearing that. And join us for our next show, which will be on Tuesday, August 4th. Good Lord, we're already there. So join us on August 4th, Tuesday, August 4th, and we will see you then. till then, have an amazing day. And yeah, have a great day. And I got to push the right button. I mentioned that this is a new studio for me, right? I got to find the right button. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Thank you. We love you. Have a great day. See you next time.